Hello, Adam. This is your tarot reading here, and I've got your love list of what we're going to take a look at here in the tarot reading. It's going to be great. I've chosen a special deck of cards for this reading because that's one of the things that when you're reading tarot cards, you kind of have to think, well, what deck should I use? There's lots of decks out there. That's the cool thing about tarot cards. Sometimes they say, oh, the tarot leads to devil worship and all that stuff. No, it leads to more tarot cards. Is basically what ends up happening. You get involved in the art of the beauty of it. So this is a good deck that I think is going to really give us a good reading. It's called The Wild Unknown by Kim Kranz. She's a really cool artist and author, and these are really beautiful cards too, so this is going to be really interesting. So a fun part of tarot is to see the images and colors and things like that. And so we're going to go along. We're just going to go one step at a time with each of the things you want to look at, and we'll draw some cards and talk about it and look at all the details of what we can get out of the cards. There's lots of patterns that we can figure out and look at when we have a bunch of cards out. So let's get right into it. There's a cheat sheet that I built into the deck using this program too, so we can kind of tap into that, gain a little bit of extra insight. But mostly, it's just we're just gonna go for it, right? Let's do this here. So we're gonna ask about your tonsils. Yeah, because that's an important thing. That leads also nicely into the next question you have, which is like your career and then family, your financials and personal growth. So we're gonna ask the Wild Unknown Tarot. Tell us a little bit about Adam's tonsils and like what's gonna happen. Now, before we draw any cards, the tarot doesn't really do good about medical stuff, but we're not really. The way we're asking about this is just kind of like, well, what to expect, right? Like, we're not going to get any sort of medical diagnosis or anything like that. Yeah, we'll see what the tarot has to say about it. So let's see. Oh, well, this is a good thing. So there's lots of cards in the tarot. There's cards that are good and bad, but each card, whether it's good or bad, always resolves to the opposite end, because everything is very cyclical in tarot. It goes in cycles, so it's all connected into one. Think of it as just being one strip, and that wherever you are in the thing, you can always end up back where you are or in some other direction. So we've got the Nine of Swords. As you can see, the look of the card, it's quite gnarly, right? Eyeballs and like swords and stuff, and Three of Swords, which is kind of like dealing with heartbreak, right? So we got like the red wrapped around the swords, which kind of talks about like the heart and stuff. So it's really neat because we've got lots of blackness. There's lots of color in this deck, but right now we're dealing with blackness. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean that things are going to go bad, but what it does say to us is that you are worried about your tonsils, and rightfully so. It's kind of a scary thing. And then we deal with the Nine of Swords. Swords are like the suit of like communication and like thought and mental processing. So really, I think what we're seeing right now is, I'm just gonna suppress that. There's just like a lot of like mental thought around your tonsils and stuff. So it leads to potential like heartache and stuff. It's like, oh, like what's gonna happen? And it's neat to see these two cards come out in the way that they are, because really what's happening is the tarot is going like, hey, like I see this, like it's a nice confirmation of like what you could be feeling about tonsils. And quite honestly, if it was me, I probably feel the same way, and I'm sure lots of people would kind of agree with that, because it's like a procedure, right? So these are nice cards despite what they look and appear as. It's a nice way of just having that confirmation from the cards right away. So let's dig a little bit deeper And let's see what we can find here. So we've got this worry. So what's this worry going to lead to? Like, can we get some sort of clarity on what the outcome of this worry could be from the... Oh, perfect. Yes. Oh. Ha. So this is excellent. So you see what I mean? It just kind of like cycles into like other things. So we got the Lovers and the Empress cards. So this is great. We've got two major arcana cards. These are like the spirit cards of the tarot deck. So they represent like very strong archetypes of energy. So the Empress, imagine the Empress is like this very old tree that's been growing for a long time, and it's grown within this big forest. So it's got the energy of like Mother Earth and like growth. And the Lovers, sort of obvious, right? Like the like a partnership. Two partners finding each other, for life, that sort of thing. But another thing too, if like finding a romantic partner is not necessarily the focus, which in this case it's maybe not the focus of like your tonsils and stuff, but what it could signify is balance. So the two tonsils, I think they're doves, I think. They are flying, but they're also leaving. So these are your two tonsils leaving. But what the Lovers also signifies, because they deal with divine masculine and feminine, becoming completely balanced. So if we're not talking about a romantic partnership, what we then have to talk about is somebody's kind of like entire human condition becoming perfectly balanced and achieving like a state of like complete harmony. So both masculine and feminine energies get completely balanced, and you become this like perfect, complete individual, ready to go out and face the world. In this case, you are ready to go out and regrow the world that you exist in. So that's what I'm seeing here with these two cards. It's quite lovely. So I think what it's saying, you've got all this worry here, but your tonsils are going to get taken out, and it's going to allow you to become more complete, more whole, balanced, and allow you to go back into the world and grow your forest, like grow your grow the world that you live in. Basically, is kind of like what that would mean to me. And so that's nice. Maybe that is something to do with stepping away from serenity a bit to recover, and then coming back and just being ready to grow, ready to go, and like stepping into like a very nurturing type of role as our fantastic LPN, very loving, powerful force that you are at serenity. So that's what I'm seeing here with the first bit of the tarot reading here, in terms of asking about your tonsils. That's great. I'm okay with those four cards here. Let's go on to the next sets. We're gonna talk about your career. So I'm gonna shuffle these cards up here. So I'm using a digital program called Orphalese Tarot. I love it. It's so cool because you can digitize cards and make them easy to play around with on screen. So that's how this tarot reading is being delivered. It's basically just a pre-recording of me working with the cards about your topics. And it's nice because it allows a pure demonstration from the tarot reader. In live readings in person, it's a little bit different. There's like back and forth, and that's great. But this is a different type of reading. It's just it's delivered. I like to think of it as being delivered purely by spirit and channeling. All right, let's ask about your career. So tell me about Adam's career. Where's that going? Okay, so let's pull up some prompts so we can get some here. So there's a little bit of disappointment happening. Like the Five of Cups is like, it's like an old horse. It's like tired a little bit. There's some disappointment happening. And then we've got the Four of Wands, completion and celebration. So these four wands here, they kind of create this like portal into like another dimension. And this is kind of cool. I like these two cards. We have a sequence here, 5 and 4, 4 and 5. But, you know, we can also look at the fact that you've gone through, you know, quite a bit in your career in Island Health, right? I'm trying to get the LPN position at Serenity. Um, you know, you're working in like lots of other places. In a way, there could be a little bit of that tired horse feeling of like just like, oh, I'm doing so much. Like I want to get to this next thing. You know, where you can really kind of hang your hat on something and just like, you know, really buckle down, right? And maybe the Four of Wands has that portal for you. These like the four wands that come together to make like a very strong shape, which is like a diamond in this case or a square, and allows you to enter into that new place. But what is that place? So we're gonna ask the tarot like where is this? Where is this portal going to? Oh, the Lover's card again. Whoa. Oh, ooh. Okay, I'm gonna get one more card. Okay. All right. So this is good. So again, we've got the Lover's card. That's crazy. Um, it's not often we get like repeat cards in sessions here like this at tarot reading, but so again, you're gonna get to a point where you're completely balanced, right? Like your energy just is in complete harmony. And the Ace of Cups, this is a great card. It talks about beginnings, like an emotional beginning. All the aces are like the ticket to a ride throughout the entire suits. Um, uh, Elemental ups and downs. Like every suit has like a very thematic thing about the suit. That can be talked about in terms of cups. It's like emotions, right? So there's a lot of emotional stuff happening, grief. But we've got the Four of Cups here, which is nice because we've got this like matching sequence in a way. 4, 5, 6, and a 4. Greed, like discontent and stuff. So when you look when you look at where you can end up, I think this is like a fear thing happening when you get to the place that you like want to be. And that's cool because like that's like a legitimate thing. Like that could be like the driving force to keep you balanced, like to have your balance remain. Because when you get too content with something, that you can sort of like um, take advantage of things too. Just get too comfortable, and then mistakes can happen that way too. So this kind of looming threat of like dealing with like a negative feeling in terms of like greed, maybe wherever you end up, don't take it for granted. Um, maybe don't get too greedy about wherever it is you're going to be. Look back to the Lover's card and always think like what can be balanced. How can I balance that? Let's do one more card. I feel like we need another card. We got another Ace of Cups because I got two decks going here at the same time. It's nice to do that because you can get a more highly defined tarot reading. So we drew up another Ace of Cups. Cool. That's big because that's like a bigger confirmation that yes, there's going to be this beginning here that's happening. It's going to be tremendous. So we got two aces. Yeah, that's like you're definitely going to enter like a new phase in your career. That's for sure. It's going to be pretty cool. And it's coming from a good spot of like disappointment, right? Some sort of disappointment. I know that you tried to get the LPN position before at Serenity and it didn't work out, but that's really good energy to use as your gas to like drive forward, basically. Because then for sure you're going to go through and find that portal, balance yourself out, and take advantage of this ticket into this emotional ride for your new beginning. But you're not going to take advantage of it. You've got the thread of like being discontent with whatever it is. Use that to make sure that you're always filling your cups. You've got two cups, two hands. Yeah, that's good. Okay. All right. I like that reading. That was good. So let's move on to your family. Okay, I'm just going to have some coffee here. Okay, Tarot, let's ask about Adam's family. What can we know about his family? Ooh, interesting. So we've got some darkness, a very clear lack of color in these two cards. So we got Justice and like the Five of Wands. So the Five of Wands is like kind of like fighting in a way. So there's the Justice card that's appeared. This is great because it gives it gives resolution to this to the Five of Swords cards, where you're dealing with like conflict. Justice is basically like an archetype of like morality in a way too, and ethics. So it's the answer to like conflict. It's like justice will happen, things will kind of work themselves out. Whatever has to happen, you will probably end up being the individual that kind of balances everything out with the family and to bring it together. But family doesn't necessarily mean like your blood relatives, your real mother and father, and all that stuff. It could just mean like the family that you're making for yourself too in the life that you're living. So let's draw some more cards and see what we have. Seven of Pentacles. Cool. Oh, perfect. Ooh, this is good. So far we've seen a lot of cool synchronicities, like pairs, sequences of numbers, and that's important in tarot readings because it creates this like actual linear direction, meaning that like the reading is making sense and revealing like like literal chunks of like potential energy that you can tap into, and not have it be scattered and like all over the place. So right here we're seeing lots of these matches, like 8, 8, 7, 5. So we've got like 7 and 8 happening here. So the Seven of Pentacles, it's like a period of to me it's like craftsmanship, but in like a way to prepare. So it's like you're contemplating how to go about this balancing of the conflict in a way, if we bring it back to conflict. But then the Eight of Pentacles, you're dealing with like your craftsmanship and your actual skills. So what I'm seeing here is that there's darkness happening, but it's black and white, so it's quite easy to put things into one or the other, so that you can properly weigh what's happening. But you've got the skill to do it, and you've got the time to contemplate everything. So there's no rush. Spiders take a while to make their webs, but when they do make their webs, they can catch a lot of things with it. It's a very strong web. So be like the spider and take your time and weave this net to catch all the important details of what's happening when it comes to your family, so that you can go back and apply the proper set of justice to it to balance everything out. So let's draw one more card. Let's see what we... So where does it end up? So that's what I kind of want to know. The Emperor. Oh, cool. So we've got a little bit of color happening. And this is cool because if you look at the outline of this card, it's got kind of like a rainbow effect. But we've got the sun in the Emperor card kind of shining into it. So we've got this like light at the end of the tunnel in a way. You become the Emperor, like the strong, you can think of father figure, but you can just really consider it just like a protective role that creates stability in the family. So you're going to become like the emperor of your family in a way, like the leading force of it. That's pretty cool. Maybe that's connected to your career in some way, where wherever you end up, if it's here at Serenity as the LPM, you become like the emperor of the LP of the lodge, right? Like a strong role that is stable. It's like you're the king of it basically, right? Like the ruler. It's pretty cool. Yeah, I like that. That was good. So let's move on to financials. So tell me a little bit about Adam's finances. Have some more coffee here. Okay. Ooh. Okay, so there's a little bit, again, we see the Four of Cups again. So we've got like the feelings of like greed and being not too happy with what's happening. We want more. We've got Three of Cups. But there's like some friendships involved. And this is okay to see these types of cards when we're asking this type of question, because what it really shows us is the things that we want to avoid if we were to tap into these energies of the reading in dealing with your financials. So how can we avoid this? But you've got like friendship and companions and people that are around you. So maybe that's going to lead to some sort of positive growth. Yes. Oh, perfect. Here we go. So then what we're seeing is that this like feeling of like greed can be resolved by the Strength card. This is great because Strength is not about being literally strong. It's about having the ultimate power of love. To tame the wild requires unconditional love, and that's the only way to tame a wild beast, is to love it, to appreciate it. And so that's how finances can work in your case, is that it's sort of like a wild beast. Like everyone has a different answer to dealing with finances, I think, because it's kind of like a personal thing. There's a lot, it's very complex to kind of have someone deal with their finances in the right way. It has to make sense for them too, right? So you can think of like finances being like a wild beast, how to tame it. You have to love it. So you have to move into the energy of just like ultimate love. The universe only works in the language of love. It can't really speak in any other way. So we've got Strength. That's perfect. And then we got the Mother of Pentacles. And so this is great because Pentacles are the suit of resources, like coins, money, like literal money. So this is great. So we can read this little prompt, and it's kind of nice because she knows exactly what to do when raising a family and tending to the tasks of daily life. There's potential in her identity to become wrapped entirely around children and home. So forget about children and home, and insert finances. So the Mother of Pentacles means that you're going to tap into that energy of like raising like a family. And maybe it's not like you're actually going to raise a literal family, but you're going to cultivate like a family that deals with your finances. So, working with other people can be a way to create a family around your finances, right? Like have your team, like who's your accountant and etc. Do you have like a financial advisor and those sorts of things if you get into like bigger financial decisions in any way. So that's great. This is excellent. So you've got again a card that deals with like the negative end, but it resolves beautifully to this picture of the Mother of Pentacles being connected to not only nature, but to like the resources of nature. Money and all that stuff it's like the fuel that allows us to do things in this world. Like this is a very money-based world. So, and it's always been that way. If we think about it, when we deal with like humanity, there's always some sort of exchange happening. So money is that thing. So we can still say that money is part of nature in a weird way. So I like that. That's really good. I don't think we should go any further than that. I think you've got like a good pathway dealing with just being able to love the entire process of finances, and you'll become that strong force, being able to cultivate like a good family around your money. Yes, perfect. I like that. Okay, so let's do this. The last prompt here, and this will complete your tarot reading. We're going to do with personal growth. So tarot, tell us a little bit about personal growth. Personal growth for Adam. What's that going to look like? Excellent. So we've got, again, some more synchronicity happening, like repeat cards. This is good because your personal growth is going to be based revolving around your friendships. But you've also got to worry about the self-interest of the people that you're going to enter into relationships with. And so that's important. So again, we've got like a nice card that deals with sort of like the fear and the dark side of a card that's positive. This is excellent because that's perfectly balanced. That's what we want to see in tarot readings, because sometimes there's too many good cards or there's too many bad cards. This is like we're getting a reading that's like really well balanced. I like it. So you have to worry about like the self-interest of like other people's as you're making like friendships, right? So it's just kind of like a warning, like be careful, like don't get taken advantage of in a way too, right? That's kind of also what it could be saying. Ooh, yes. Oh. If there's any card in the tarot that represents personal growth, it's Temperance. It's like the ultimate card of like just becoming something ascended of what you were, like ascending to the next level. But Temperance in a literal way is blending like two things together, like an alchemist, in a way. You're blending these two things, and you're tempering it into like one thing, like tempering a sword, right? Like you're creating something new from multiple things. And so that's what's happening with your personal growth. There's going to be like a combination of things that are going to lead you to be something greater than what you were. And we've got the Ace of Wands happening too, which is, again, this is our ticket into the wand suit of like vitality and like personal growth in a way. You've got like an expansion happening. You're going to be inspired to do something great. So this is excellent. So like your personal growth is going to come from friendships, and you're going to be aware of like the secrecy behind everything, people's self-interest, deceit. That's natural, right? So it's not a big deal, because you can tap into the Temperance card, blend these two things together, and it allows you to enter that state of like expansion. We're going to go and do excellent things. Yeah, I mean that's great. I think those are a good set of cards here. We've got a nice balance too of like Wands, Cups, and Swords, and Spirit too. So we've got most of the 5 suits, 4 of the 5 suits represented in this reading. So we've got the Earth, which is Pentacles, missing, but that's kind of like that suit where I think a lot of the reading is grounded on dealing with like money and family and stuff. So that's kind of the missing part that we can actually talk about with your personal growth. So these cards all want to kind of create that empty suit for you. So the personal growth will end up being some sort of earth grounded based thing about resources and money and stuff like that. So your personal growth will likely lead to that. But that's going to be up to you to create for yourself, right? So it's like the wild card thing. You get to make it whatever you want to be. And we'll leave it at that, because that's going to be up to you to make for yourself, knowing what these cards kind of show and represent in this reading. So there we go. That's excellent. I like that a lot. So why don't we collect up these cards? We're going to do one last thing. We're going to draw 2 cards as a way to end the reading, and just sort of ask the tarot, okay, well, we're done. Thank you for the reading. What can we tell Adam? Like what to expect next. Like just give us something as a way to complete this reading. Okay. This is awesome. So if there's anything that you want to take away, is become the Strength card. Like tap into your unconditional love. And then we've got the Daughter of Wands. It's like a visionary. So turn that love into a vision, because the Daughter of Wands is a free spirit, right? So the Daughter of Wands is like it's like the Page of Wands. So it's like the first court card in the suit. So it would go Page, Knight, Queen, King. So this would be Daughter, Son, Mother, Father in this deck. That's the way the tarot is set up, or the court cards are set up in this tarot deck. So if anything, tap into your unconditional love And if you do that, you'll become a visionary. You become very passionate in whatever it is that you do. And that's what you have here in your tarot reading here today, Adam. This has been excellent. Thank you for letting me read your cards. It's always an honor to read someone's cards in depth like this, because you get to see what's in the store for them and then share the experience too. A lot of what happens in tarot reading is the reader has to sort of blend their experiences with the person they're reading for to get this kind of result. So this has been really good. Thank you for letting me do this, and I hope you do well in all of the 5 things that you've asked about. And yeah, that's it. I'm trying to, what else can we do? I feel like that's about as much as we can do in this reading. It was really good. So thank you again, and I hope you enjoy this. I will see you soon. I guess at work. Okay, bye.